A good day. I would like to greet our doctor, Dr. Shafriza. So today our group will be presenting our electrochemical engineering project, which is our TikTok water clock. So our group members consist of 4 people. First of all, me, myself, Khairul Bin Abdullah, matrix number 196826, Yuvaraj Kunalan 196320, Ong Hui Ling 198876, Tharania Balamurugan 19667. So as the first part of our presentation is introduction. So an electrochemical cell is a device that can generate electrical energy from the chemical reaction occurring in it, or use the electrical energy supplied to it to facilitate chemical reactions in it. So the electrochemical cells can be divided into 2, which is electrolytic cell and also galvanic cell. So these devices are capable of converting chemical energy into electrical energy or vice versa. Typically, there will be 2 main reactions, which is oxidation and also reduction, which occurs simultaneously, which is known as redox reaction. So there are several materials we used for our experiment. Firstly, the electrolyte we used is the Clorox solution as our electrolyte, and electrodes we use is aluminum strip as an anode and also copper wire as cathode. So multimeter we use to check the voltage and also current flow in our circuit, crocodile clip, clogs, and also plastic bottles, and also other materials that we use during our trial attempts, which are Mr. Muscles, salt water, honey, baking soda, Coca-Cola, coin as a nickel electrode, iron nail as a ferrum electrode, copper wire, and also aluminum strip. So next, I will pass it to Hui Ling.
Next, I will present on the theoretical chemical reactions. As mentioned before, the electrode used are aluminium and copper. The standard reduction potential of aluminium is negative 1.66 watts, and the standard reduction potential of copper is 0.337 watt. The more negative will become anode, thus aluminium becomes anode, and the more positive becomes cathode, and then copper becomes cathode. Okay, the half cell reactions at anode is aluminium donates 3 electrons to form aluminium ion, and copper accepts 2 electrons to become copper at the cathode. Then to balance the number of electrons, the anode equations multiply by 2 and the cathode equations multiply by 3 and yields the overall equations shown here. The overall reactions is 2 aluminium react with 3 copper 2 ion to form 2 aluminium and 3 copper. Okay. The standard cell reductions potential obtained is 1.997 watt, and the Gibbs free energy calculated is negative 1156 kilojoule per mole. As the E0 cell is positive and delta G is negative, the reactions is spontaneous, thus the type of cell is voltage cell. Next. 2 possible side reactions occur inside the Clorox beach. There are NaOCl and H2O. In NaOCl, ClO negative ions undergo oxidations and Na plus ion undergo reductions. The half cell equations and overall equations is shown here. At the end of the experiment, white solid are formed at the cathode. It was predicted that the white solid is sodium metal, thus the reactions occur. So for water, hydroxide ion undergo oxidations to form oxygen gas and water undergo reductions to form hydrogen gas and water and hydroxide ion. So the overall reactions is water dissociates to form oxygen gas and 2 hydrogen gas. The observations are the bubbles are produced at the electrode. Thus, it was predicted that these reactions occur. Next. So 6 trials attempts were done to make the clock functions. First, we use aluminum strip as anode and nickel coin as cathode with 3 different electrolytes, Clorox, Coca-Cola, and Mr. Muscle glass cleaner. However, this pair produce very small current and the clock is not function. For the other 5 trials, aluminum strip and copper wire was used as the electrode. So the first in the second trial, the electrolyte used are Clorox, Coca-Cola, and Clorox. And then in the third trial, Coca-Cola is replaced with Mr. Muscle glass cleaner. Next. For the fourth trial, we use Clorox baking soda and Mr. Muscle glass cleaner as the electrolyte. And for the fifth trial, we use Clorox salt water and Clorox as the electrolyte. All 5 trials fails as the clock is not functions. Only the 6th trial that use 3 Clorox in their tank the clock is managed to function. So only if we use all 3 Clorox as electrolyte, we will produce relatively large current and the clock managed to function. So next, I will pass the presentations to Yuvaraj.
Okay, thank you very much, Hui Ling. So now I will present on the result that we obtained. So as Hui Ling mentioned just now, we use 2 electrodes, which is aluminum and copper wire. So the aluminum will be our anode and copper will be our cathode. So theoretically, aluminum, there will be decrease in mass due to the oxidation process or reaction, sorry. And then the copper, there will be mass gain due to the reduction. So there will be mass deposited on the cathode wire electrode. So the same thing that happens in our experiment. So for copper wire, we observe that there is a mass gain in that electrode. The value is as I stated, which for tank 1, the copper wire electrode increased by 0.069 gram. For tank 2, 0.053 gram, and lastly for tank 3 was 0.241 gram. So for aluminium foil, we observe that there is a mass reduced in the aluminium foil for tank 1 by 0.075, for tank 2 by 0.06 gram, and also for tank 3 0.3 gram. So these are the mass that we obtained after and before the experiment for the clock to run. Okay, so next. So for the discussion, for the voltage current, the total voltage and current measured by using the multimeter was 1.1 volt and the 35 milliampere respectively for the current. The voltage for one set of galvanic cell was approximately 0.4 volt only. Okay, so and the lifetime of our clock was almost 4 hours, and it has short lifetime because the electrode used was very thin and it reacted quickly in sodium hypochlorite solution. So in order to increase the lifetime of the watch, actually we need to use a thicker electrode so that we have a longer lifetime, like 10 hours, or it means almost 20 hours. So next is the originality. So in our group, the originality that our group did was by implementing the series set of galvanic cell. Most of the work done by other group was implementing by only using one single set of galvanic cell. So the purpose of having the series set of galvanic cell is not to get higher voltage and a very long lifetime. So during the experiment, the voltage for one set of galvanic cell was only about 0.4 volt, which was not enough to run the clock actually. So we decided to use a series set of galvanic cell and we able to run the clock successfully. So next, the creativity. Our group proposed a mini electrochemical plant by adding storage tank, ventilation, etc. for the process actually. All right, so next I will pass to Tara Akas to continue the presentation. Thank you.
So for environmental aspect, since our group is enrolled in chemical engineering and environmental course, we try to make environmental aspect at our top priority of this project. So the first one is material. Mr. Muscle and Clorox is not classified as environmentally hazardous according to safety data sheet and can safely release to environment. Second, recycle unused wire. Copper is collected from discarded electric goods and utilized as an electrode. Help to reduce the e-waste because e-waste will release lead and mercury into the ground and water. In addition, according to e-waste management Malaysia, it is expected that 24.5 million units of e-waste will be produced in Malaysia by 2025. So third, recycle water bottles. Third, mineral plastic water bottle is used as container to hold up the electrodes, and where the oxidation and reduction reaction happens, which is helped to reduce the plastic wastage. A 2019 study commissioned by the Worldwide Fund of Nature showed that Malaysia ranks second in Asia for annual per capita plastic use. And fourth, gas handling. The gas produced from the reaction will be flowed into the storage tank to avoid any harmful gas released to the environment. Next. For safety aspects, the hole is prepared in each of electrochemical cell to vent out the gases that produce from the reaction. The purpose of this hole is to prevent any gas accumulation inside the cell which will affect the final result. The second one, material. Fluoride is safe to use as an electrolyte because no additional chemicals or substance are added. In addition, this chemical is considered hazardous by 2012 OSHA hazard communication standard, which will cause severe skin irritation and high damage. So the materials was entered with gloves to avoid any skin irritation. Third, current. It generates around 35 milliampere, which is considered a low current. Therefore, it is perfectly safe for educational purpose. Last, voltage. 1.1 voltage is required, which is considered a low voltage to run the clock, which is safe to operate. Next. Costing. This project's primary objective is to construct a mini electrochemical plant from a recycled and reusable material. Therefore, the most of items we use is in our project were discarded and unused materials. Only crocodile clips and chlorides were purchased. So the first one is mineral bottle. You use wire cable, clock, small piece of cloth, aluminum foil, and crocodile clip. Costing per unit is 3 ringgit 50 cent. Quantity 4, so total price for crocodile clip is 14 ringgit. Chloride 2 ringgit 30 cent. Quantity 1. Total price 2 ringgit 30 cent. So the total overall price is 16 ringgit 30 cent. Next. Conclusion. So, in conclusion, the clock was successfully run with lifespan for 4 hours. The voltage produced from the electrochemical cell was 1.1 voltage, and the current produced was 35 milliampere. Recommendation: first, thicker electrode should be used to increase the lifetime. Second, sodium hypochlorite solution should be poured after the electrode set up to avoid the reaction to start earlier. Lastly, the galvanic cell can be set up in parallel so that when one circuit cut off, it will not disturb the other circuit. Let's enjoy our project demonstration video.
So yeah, that's all from us today. So this is our TikTok club project from our group. So thank you, Dr. Shah. Bye.